Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is the second topic in Unit 2, that is important human characteristics. So in the textbook they have mentioned 11 important characteristics. So I will briefly explain about all these things, but only using the keywords. So you need to listen very carefully to all the statements I am telling here. So the first characteristics, like I have sorted here in like P, I for remembrance purpose. So hope you will remember it clearly. We have 11 human characteristics. The first one is perception. What is this perception? That means based on our past experiences, past knowledge, we will give some meaningful meaning to the stimuli in our environment. That means, say suppose like if a blind person is given some object, based on his past experience he will tell like this is a vegetable, this is a fruit. That means based on his some experience, based on his some knowledge, he is giving some meaning to that object in the environment. So there are some characteristics for this perception, like similarity, proximity, matching patterns, closure, unity and continuity. That means here similarity is like, you think like based on the texture he may say, okay, this is like rough, it might be some vegetable or something stone, something like that. So based on the similarity. Proximity is like how close it is to some other object. Matching patterns. So these are few characteristics of perception. Perception is nothing but giving meaning to a stimuli in an environment. And coming to the second human characteristic, it is information processing. That means whatever the information we are getting, that means through sensing or whatever in any source, if we are getting some information, we need to process it, right? So for processing, we have two levels. That means highest level and lowest level. So the highest level memory is for reasoning and problem solving things, but it is very slow but in a sequential format. That means it will sense those, it will process the data in a sequential format. Though it is slow, it is very useful, and also it is given some limited space in our memory. And coming to the lowest level, it is like a physical form of information sensed. And coming to individual differences, that means people, like every person has their unique skills. Say like they differ in their knowledge, their experience, their age groups, different things. So this is one of the characteristic. And skill, like if we learn something, if we start practicing everything, you get skilled in a particular area. And coming to the sensory storage is nothing but we have five senses, like smell, taste, all these things. So that all is an unconscious process. It is like quick to detect the changes, and it is also an automatic process. Say suppose like if you suddenly touch a hot pan, you immediately remove. That means it is an automatic process, and you quickly detected the change. And coming to the visual acuity is nothing but the capability of our eye to resolve the details. That means when you see something, like if it is very near, you can clearly identify this is that and all. But if it is very far, sometimes we may not correctly identify the things. That means the capacity of our eye to resolve all the details is visual acuity. And coming to the seventh characteristic, it is foveal and peripheral vision. What is this foveal and peripheral vision is like, say suppose let's take this area, and so if I said you to observe this figure, so when you're observing this, if you're focusing only on this dot, it is like foveal vision. That means you're focusing directly on something. But peripheral vision is like you're focusing on the surrounding parts of that specific thing. So I hope you got this. Foveal is like focus directly on something. And when you're focusing on the surrounding things, then it is known as peripheral vision. So in a cooperative nature, both this foveal and peripheral vision, they give an advice for us, like what we need to watch next. But in a competitive nature, this peripheral vision, it distracts us. That means, so as I said, now this is an empty figure with a dot here. In a cooperative nature, this peripheral vision advises us next where I should look. But in a competitive nature, now this peripheral vision distracts us. That means I will look out of this box. So that is. And coming to memory, memory is like remembering something. So we have short-term memory and long-term memory. So this short-term memory is the working memory. That is, it is in our conscious mind. We have little amount of space given for this. That means it also takes very less amount of time for processing. And coming to long term memory, it comes, I mean, like, we still remember all the alphabets which we have learned in our nursery and all, right? That means because we have some experience, we have some knowledge, and it is given more space in our in the memory part. And coming to learning is like enhancing your skills, learning something every day. I don't want to give much explanation for this learning part. You hope you all know about it. And coming to mental model is nothing but it is the internal representation of an human being, like what he understood. That means now I have understood some part about this human characteristics. Now I have represented in this way. That means what I have understood, I have represented here. This is my mental model for this human characteristics. Now, after listening to this, you may prepare your own mental model. That means you will prepare some own graph, I mean mind map, something. You may prepare some other in a different format. And coming to movement control, that means movement control is like some people may continuously watch something. Some people, they immediately skip all those parts, they jump. I mean, even in this video also, some people they skip fastly, but some people they repeatedly watch something. That is movement control. Whether you're seeing, listening, all this comes under movement control. And coming to the system part, the movement control is like using your mouse trackball. You may scroll down. That means you are controlling the screen. These are 11 important characteristics. I mean, like, these 11 characteristics everyone will have, but now these four conditions, what are human considerations in design, with these four characteristics people may differ. So I will cover this topic in the next video.